different types of brushes which are used for painting, then this video is for you. My name is Mandar Marathe. I'm a fine artist and a sculptor, and I'll be answering this question sent in by a viewer. So let's see the question again. What are the different types of brushes used for painting, and what different mediums are painted with those? So I've kind of brought together all my brushes which I use typically, and I'll be showing those to you so that I can explain it more easily to you. So yes, if you can see my screen right now, I've categorized these into watercolor brushes and oil or acrylic brushes. I mean, the differentiation is mainly made because the painting medium is different, and there is a big difference between the types of brushes which are used for these two mediums. For watercolors, these are a few of the brushes which are used. These are called, depending on the shape of the bristles, they are described either as round or flat or rigger. Note that this sorry, this brush has a round shape and it creates a point. When you dip it in water or color, it creates a fine point with which you paint. Then this shape of these bristles, this is natural hair brush, this is man-made bristles brush, but that's why the color difference is there. And this is a flat because this has a rectangular shape to its bristles, and the riggers generally have long, or the length of the bristles is much more as compared to the width of or the amount of bristles. So these are called riggers. Then there is a fan brush which is just like a fan, but I don't use that, so I don't have it right now. So again, to again tell you the difference between animal hair brushes and synthetic is that these are animal hair brushes are made from hair of a squirrel or a weasel or animals like that. And because of protection measures, animal rights protection or conservation protection, nowadays you get less of these brushes and more of the brushes which are made with synthetic fibers like nylon or tacklon or whatever they are called. Now let's come to the brushes for oils or acrylics. The major difference is because oils or acrylics are generally used on canvas or a hard surface which is not similar to paper which watercolor is painted on. That's why there is a difference between the brushes. Of course, you could use any of these brushes for anything, but they become of limited use when you exchange the brushes. For example, now coming to oil brushes, there are three which I have here. These two are flats because of their shape, but the difference is that this is a hog hair brush. So this is a natural hair brush, whereas this is much more finer, has much more finer bristles, and these are man-made bristles. So generally I use these hog hair brushes for first few layers of painting, oil painting or acrylic painting, wherein I'm not worried about the final look because those are the first layers of the painting. And whenever I want to create a smooth area, for example in a sky or surface of still water, then I use these brushes for giving the or painting the surface very smooth and getting rid of all the brush marks which this has created. So that's the use of these. Then this is a round brush. I very rarely use this for oils, but there are people who use this. And then there are filberts which are nothing but flat brushes, but the length of these bristles in filberts, brights, length of these brushes is or bristles is less. So instead of this, the length of the bristles would be something like half. And filbert and round, I don't have a filbert here, but there is very small difference between filberts and flats. And whereas flats have bristles like this, So this will be the handle and things like that. These will be the bristles. Instead of they being flat, filberts will have bristles like this. Okay, so they don't have a corner here. They are much more rounded off like this. So these are called the filberts. So that's the major difference between various brushes that are used for different mediums. Of course, gouache and casein can be painted with these brushes, which I use for watercolor, because again casein and the gouache are nothing but watercolor with some differences, but the medium is still water. So, but acrylics, I will preferably not use this, but start with this ones bristle brushes and use these ones. Another difference I'll mention while we are here and talking about the subject is that the oil and acrylic brushes tend to have longer handles, whereas watercolor brushes tend to have shorter handles. The reason being, oil and acrylic paintings are generally larger in size, and you should be able to paint them from a distance to get the feel of or the artistic strokes. These paintings are not painted holding the brush like a pen like this. These are used with a handle like this, so you have to hold it near the end of the handle and then paint. So that creates that artistic brushwork which you see in nice paintings. So that's the reason why they keep long handles for oil and acrylic brushes, whereas watercolors, the paintings being generally of smaller sizes, they have shorter handles. So that's it for as the answer for this question. And if you have any of your question that need to be answered, if you want to know, then this is the URL which you see on the screen right now. It's marathiartstudio.com/questions. I'll bring it up once again. It's marathiartstudio.com/questions. So you can post your questions there so that I can get those, and then even if you are watching this as a recording and not join me as live, you can send in your questions, and so that I can answer those in one of the upcoming videos or lives. So that's it for now, and happy painting till we meet again in the next video. See you.